Hey guys, it's Smudge here. Should now be live, back in the F18 yet again. Yay! Yesterday I hit 4,000 subscribers, which I thought, was a big achievement for me, a real milestone. Roll on 5,000 subscribers. Hint, hint, like, share, all the other good stuff there. Just finished work. Thought I'd take up a Hornet and do something a bit different. So I thought we'll jump in one. Take it up kind of as is and just throw it about, see what it's like, kind of really pushing it towards the edge of its envelope, see how high we can go, see how low it can go, how fast, how slow, just really kind of learning the flight characteristics of the Hornet and see what it's overall like to fly. So we'll drag you guys along and see how it goes. So thanks Etrian, probably murdering pronouncing that, but thanks very much there, saying congrats for the 4Ks. So first things first, we'll go through a startup, because I like doing startups. For me, it's part of the enjoyment of flying full fidelity models. It's something that you get to do. Right, so let's crack on, shall we? Just make sure that all my controls are in the right places before I start pressing buttons here. Alrighty, so first things first, we'll switch on the battery. And then we'll run through our fire starter test.
Engine fire left. Engine fire left. Engine fire right. Engine fire right. APU fire. APU fire. Bleed air left. Bleed air left. Bleed air right. Bleed air right.
Alrighty, so I'll wait for that tape to rewind, which is about 10 seconds or so, and then we'll do the second test. Should be ready about now.
Engine fire left. Engine fire left. Engine fire right. Engine fire right. APU fire. APU fire. Bleed air left. Bleed air left. Bleed air right. Bleed air right.
Cool, so that's the fire check done. So we'll go ahead and turn on the APU. Love the sound listing coming to life. Cool, got a green light on that, so we'll start up the right engine first. So engine crank to right. Keep an eye on the RPMs here. When that hits 25, we'll move the right throttle forward. Cool, and that should now be coming to life. Alrighty then, we've got a good right engine there, so we'll go ahead.
Roll left.
Alright, thanks Betty. Go ahead and rotate the bleed air.
Flight controls.
We'll set the INS to align and switch on our TV screens. And the HUD. See, should all start coming into life now. Cool. Turn on our in-cockpit lighting just to give us a bit of lighting here, because it's early morning, which leads for really nice external lighting, but sometimes makes it hard seeing things in the cockpit. Okie dokie, looking a-okay around there, so I'll go ahead and start up the left engine. Starting this thing is fairly straightforward. Okay, so that's a 25, left throttle forward. Yeah. Oh, hey Marta, how you doing, buddy? Alrighty, so that's the left engine's up. That's cool and groovy. Like it, love it, brilliant. Right now, let's have a look. Where are we? Catching up with myself here. So I'll bring up the FCS page on this side. That all looks good. Okay, so we'll go ahead and reset the FCS. That looks good. We'll set takeoff trim as soon as I can actually hit it without my track out wobbling. Cool, stabs are at 12, that's set, that's cool. Alright, anti-skids on, hook bypass in field, so now we'll do our 4 down check, which is hook down, flaps down to half. We'll put the probe out, APU switching itself off there, which is good, and the air brake out as well. Now we'll go ahead and check the aircraft externally. And that's all looking cool and groovy. So we'll go ahead and clean this up, so we'll bring the hook up. We can also do the launch bar, but we're not needing that right now, so that's fine. Put the probe away, brakes away, and flaps back up into auto for now. So the bits, we'll go ahead and do the FCS bit, so we'll switch on the FCS bit on this side, hit FCS go on this side to start the FCS bit. Okie dokie, so the only other thing that we've got there on the master caution panel is canopy, which we'll put down now, I guess. Cool. Alrighty, so we've got to go on those. That's all good. Turn radar on. Trying to think if I'm missing anything, so I'm doing all of this off the top of my head. Okay, that's all set, that's set. Turn on some external lighting. OGS on. Alrighty, I think we're pretty much ready to taxi here. Oh yeah, uncage the standby SAI. Always forget about that little one. And turn on the RW on, not that we really need it right now as well. And set the radar altimeter. We'll set that to low because we're going to be flying quite low. Might need to even turn that off later if it starts annoying us. Nose wheel steering's on, that's all good. We can set radios, they will work, but don't really need those right now. We're just going to have a bit of fun. Let's have a look. How's our INS is showing aligned and okay there, so that's good. We'll turn on the INS into nav. Go ahead and bring up the flight plan. Take off the handbrake. And let's wuggy wuggy. Not taking any stores on this at the moment, just keep us as light as possible so we can throw it around unrestricted. FCS current limit 6.7, I think when we get airborne that should change to about 7.2. But I'm feeling like we might hit the FCS disconnect switch and really push it to the brink. Oh hi Chris, thanks very much there buddy. Hi brain user. Probably forgetting tons of things on your startup there, but it works for me. And the plane's moving, so we're in good shape. And don't forget, guys, that the Persian Gulf map comes out tomorrow. It is the 23rd tomorrow. Yeah, it certainly is. So you know, go pre-order that now while it's still on offer. It probably won't be on offer from tomorrow, and then you'll end up paying full price for it. So you know, don't be a mug. If you want it, go buy it now. It's an absolutely brilliant map. It's an awesome theatre, and to me, it's one of the kind of first operational theatres, or modern kind of theatres in the game that you can use for actual kind of like combat mission planning, and it's like a real combat scenario area. The Corks is great, but a lot of it will be kind of like fantasy combat and stuff like that, kind of what ifs. But you know, this sort of area is like real kind of modern day war zones. So yeah, for those of you, you know, you guys out there that like something different rather than flying around Las Vegas to be deserty, then you know, absolutely give this a shout. And then the F-18 itself is coming out on the 30th, so really not long to wait until you can get a hold of this. Yeah, actually just put there T1 for the map. Hi Stefan, how you doing, buddy? Oops, watching chat and not wearing taxi. Seat. I think that's the last of the warnings there. Just in case we do need to bang out, I probably will crash and die at some point while doing this. Hopefully not run out of fuel, although this thing does absolutely gulp its fuel. Okay, so we'll get lined up here. Nose wheel steering off. Just do a last quick check, so we've got flaps in half. That's all good, that's all good, that's all good, that's up, that's fine. Alright, okie dokie, let's power the hell up and get the hell out of here. Now that's a climb out. Yeah, that's definitely how you want to take off. Straight up. Can I do a 9G turn? Yes. Let's stick it on a wing. We'll disconnect the FCS, because at the moment, if we turn, it will limit us to about 6.8. It won't let us go past that. So that's 4.95. Okay, we're going a bit slow there. So that was 5.2 there, and ran out of airspeed. So let's get a bit of speed up. We'll pull it to the limit of 6.9, which is our current G limit, and then we'll go FCS off and see how much we can bang it about. I think I've got up to about 10 before. So we'll get to 500, then we'll wang it over. So that's 5. So yeah, that's 6.7, 6.8, 7G maxed out there. So that's the FCS kind of restricting our turn. So if we go FCS off,
Flight control.
8, 9.
Flight control.
So she's kind of limiting at 9 there, while my pilot's kind of blacking himself out. So that's an IG, pretty hard turn there.
Flight control. Flight control.
9.3. Let's go upstairs. So max burn, max climb, looking for the 90, there she is. Oh, 85. start leveling off at about 180. Don't really want to get below that. We're at 25,000 feet now. Okay, that's 180, so let's level off. Right at the limits of its own flying capability there, 96 knots. But this thing absolutely flies as slow as you like. And with the burners on, she does pull it back alright. So that's nearly 30,000 feet from ground level. We're contrailing as well. Alrighty, let's see how fast we can get this thing on the way back down. Keeping the burners absolutely pinned here, and she is gulping fuel like no tomorrow. Just trying to ease off on the pull here on the way back down. So that's Mach 1.1, Mach 1.2. Mach 1.3.
Altitude.
Just about to shatter some people's windows. Mach 1.33. So Mach 1.33 and a dive from 30,000 feet. Alrighty, let's see how slow she'll go. Just checking the chat here. Wow, you guys are being busy. Now try that loaded up. Probably start ripping things off the pylons, to be fair. Yeah, that was turning with the FCS paddle on. The FCS currently limited to 7.4, managed to get 9.3 on the paddle.
Altitude.
Might set myself a bit of a bingo here of 2,000, just so I know when we're about to run out. So we'll get that absolute barn door of an air brake out and get ourselves slowed all the way down, see how we can fair flying very slowly. Absolutely love this map. Just how absolutely massively populated it is. I mean, there's skyscrapers, small buildings. As you go up to like the north and the Iranian side, there's a whole bunch of kind of like mud huts and different buildings like that. But the fact it runs so well with all of these buildings, and I'm running this on extreme view range as well at the moment, just absolutely awesome. Getting the speed all the way down here, still got the barn door open. So that's 200. Gonna drop the flaps all the way down. That's a stall warning around 180. Pull the old barn door back in. I think that might actually be the undercarriage warning. That's the stall warning. So that's stick absolutely pinned all the way back, just kind of using the throttle there in order to kind of control the rate of descent. And we'll just pin the throttle, stick the nose up and see if she'll go up. Yep, up she goes. Power! Flaps back up into auto.
Altitude. Altitude.
To coin a phrase, this aircraft can fly up its own arsehole. It's just absolutely nuts, the manoeuvrability and power on this thing. Yeah, she will go below 90. It's fairly easy to recover it from her though, although she doesn't like going below kind of 180 in normal parameters, kind of 120 at other times.
Flight controls. Flight controls. Altitude. Altitude.
You definitely feel it in the stick when you're around the stall. Although she does respond slightly, the aircraft does kind of become very heavy on the stick. But when she's fast, when she's at high speeds, she's so direct, it's just so pointy.
Flight controls. Flight controls.
Whee. Just goes up like a Saturn rocket, even with the pilot black there. Just keeping an eye on my fuel here before we need to land and grab a new one. Let's keep the nose all the way up this time, see what she's like when she gets to 0 speed. So I'm just keeping the power all the way on, so that's, oh, she's starting to wobble. She's starting to wobble a lot. So I'm powering back now. I think we're actually flying backwards right now.
Flight controls. Flight controls.
She's not liking that much. Let's see if we can get up to 40. One thing I do love in this, one thing that they've simulated, and it's my favourite feature in DCS, if we ram the cabin, or dump the pressure out of the cabin, just to kind of equalise the cabin to external pressure of 35,000 feet. I'll just set the autopilot action here, just while I do this. Come on, chicken. Autopilot. Why not holding? Oh well, pass. Maybe missing something there. Autopilot doesn't want to engage. Never mind. Anyways, if you turn off your oxygen flow at 35,000 feet with the cabin pressure dumped, very quickly start getting very, very dizzy. I do love this effect. It's one of my favourite effects in DCS. In fact, let's turn it on before our guy dies. There we go. Give ourselves a bit of brain damage because, you know, with the cabin pressure on normal, once the cabin's actually pressurised, I don't know where the cabin pressure gauge is. It might be one of these. Don't know. I'm sure there is probably a cabin pressure gauge in these things. Most aircraft have them. But if you turn off the cabin pressure and then turn off the oxygen, it takes a lot longer in order to get dead. He says. In fact, that's coming in quite quick though. Turn the air back on. Alrighty, what's our fuel? 4,800. So our max G there has been 10.1, currently doing Mach 1.46.
Altitude.
That's pretty much where we're topping out at. It's kind of eerie when they're that quiet, isn't it?
Flight controlled. Flight controlled.
You alright, love? Anybody seen an airfield around here? Might need to go and grab some gas. Yeah, Brain User said is the hypoxia effect present in other modules. I think it's present in nearly every module in DCS at the moment. I can't recall anything apart from the FC3 modules where hypoxia isn't a thing. Hey Russ. 5-4 Blade just put on there, that's how I feel after a few whiskies. Yep. On a scale of 1 to fuck, how does the crew chief feel right now? Probably like he wants to murder me. Yep, but we did tell him that we're going to smash one of his jets. And, you know, let's smash it into the ground with the landing gear down. Because that's the only way I know how to land this thing. We'll grab a... maybe refuel it. And then we'll go fly through some buildings. Because that's one thing I love about this map, is that there's loads and loads of things you can fly up and in and around and do silly stuff like that. So, God, this thing really doesn't feel... I mean, we've hardly been airborne here at all. How long have we been in the air? Clock. Where's the clock? I don't know, not long. But yeah, with the afterburners on all the time, that definitely does use up this fuel. One thing that, for those of you who haven't seen it, a really, really great guy and an absolute fantastic YouTuber who honestly needs to have 1 million more subscribers than he have now is Crash Lauby. This, you know, a guy I have the pleasure of flying with quite regular, and he really is as funny as he comes across on his YouTube channel. So honestly, go check out Crash Lauby's YouTube videos. He did one today. Was it today it came out? Flying the F-18 and also having an interview with Wags about the F-18, which was just really, really fun to watch. They showed this thing, the kind of error codes. Those of you who are kind of used to the KA50 will probably see something similar on the ECRAM warning system when you land. I'd love to find out what they mean. I really can't wait to get that sort of information so you can look at this and think, well, I buggered it, but I didn't quite bugger it enough. And then, yeah, so, you know, it'd be awesome to find out what those codes mean, to find out how badly you've screwed the jet over as you've been kind of flying around and murdering things. Okay, gears down, flaps down. A little bit high, but will extend out. Oops. Hello. Not paying attention to my speed at all there. God, when she comes down in speed, she really does just go, nah, I'm gonna fall now. Whether you like it or not, I'm going down. Hopefully I can make my airfield landings much prettier than I make my aircraft carrier landings anyway. So landing the Hornet is just pretty much keep your AOA and then control the rate of descent with the throttle, using the E bracket to show if you're going too fast or too slow. It's kind of almost like landing the Mirage. The Mirage is a very kind of similar thing where you just keep the AOA and then you control your rate of descent with the throttle. Little bit of crosswind going on here. I like flying with weather, it makes life more interesting. So, too slow, just bring the E bracket back up. You're alright, love. Very happy with that. And no need to flare. Just using plenty of rudder input in order to keep the nose pointing in a straight line here. Interesting. La 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 la, I think we might break something. Ah, there we go, nose wheel steering. Cool. Tried switching on the nose wheel steering there, but it wasn't having any of it, but needed to hit the FCS disconnect switch in order to get that switching on. That was interesting. Alrighty, just checking the old chat here again while we're taxiing in. So see how high a sink rate you can land with. Well, I know I've been down at about 1,000 feet per second once, or 1,000 feet per minute. Yeah, brake landing gear. Maybe on the next landing, we'll see. I really want to use this plane again. It's been nice to me. Turn off G limit and literally break the wings off. Well, I've tried that. I got up to 10G, but the wings stayed on, unfortunately. Oh, hi, Flyer. How you doing there, buddy? Long time. Flyer, I would absolutely love for you to be able to come fly with us, buddy. If you go to 504vfs.co.uk, we've got ourselves a website there, kind of like a blue version of the old 504 or VVS 504. But come, you know, kind of say hello there. We've got a Discord up and running at the moment. If you got Discord, and then we'll get some flying going, man. That sounds absolutely brilliant. Yeah, Blade just said there, get on Discord. It'd be absolutely awesome to have you flying with us again, buddy. Alrighty then, so I'm going to be a bit naughty, park here on the old taxiway and maybe request some gas.
In field 1-1, request takeoff.
No, I don't want to do that, thanks. Let's have a look. So we still have a bit of gas there. We'll stick a fuel tank on the centre as well there, just to get a bit more gas in the tank.
Request refueling. Request rearming. Copy.
Just wait for the crew chief to come out and stick some gas in it. In fact, one thing I was going to show as well. Just noticed today that the VX9 skin's actually on as well.
Request refueling.
And isn't that an absolute cool skin?
Request rearming. Copy.
That's a really, really nice skin. Also, the Canadian and Australian skins are all in there now as well. So they're really cool. Can you take 5 fuel tanks? No, you can take 3 is the maximum fuel tanks you can take. Yeah, and when you're flying 3, the thing absolutely feels like a truck until you get them off again. It's really not fun flying with all 3 bags on. The centre bag isn't too bad. You can kind of get away with that, although I think it limits you to about 5.7 G, if I remember rightly. But yeah, with 3 bags on, honestly, it's an absolute bloody nightmare. Wondering if I could get airborne in the amount of taxiway I've got left. Because that would be very naughty. Let's see, how's our fuel? Fuel's going up kind of nicely right now. What I might actually do is switch off the TORS. The TORS is the ground warning system, so by turning that off we won't get any kind of like altitude pull-up things, because on the next leg I want to be kind of flying on the ground all the time. I might even turn off the radar altimeter just to be very naughty, but then if you're not paying attention to what you're doing you can fly into the ground, which is generally quite bad, but it's all fun at the same time, isn't it? Didn't manage to pull off any FCS errors there by flying around like an idiot either, which is a real shame. Do I like the external engine sounds? I really do, actually. Yeah, when you're flying at very high speed and you hear the kind of almost tearing sound of the aircraft going, you know, kind of through the air. When the sounds are turned all the way up, I've got them down at the moment so you can hear me prattle on.
Refueling complete.
You know, it is absolutely awesome hearing this thing when the sounds are all the way up.
Flight controls. Flight controls.
Yeah, okay. Getting flight control warning because it's put on the tank below us, which kind of messes up the FCS sort of thing because you're changing the configuration, but that's fine. Audio is constant popping. Is anyone else getting popping sounds from the audio?
Rearming complete.
Alrighty, let's be very naughty and do a taxiway takeoff, which he should never, never, ever do because that's very naughty. So we'll set our takeoff trim. Okie dokie. And then let's get out of here. Oh, so you take the handbrake off, Smudge. Yep, there we go. Wondering why she's holding with the And let's go take a close look at the map. So a little bit more gas now, so we'll fly over to those skyscrapers and have a close look at them. Some pretty funky bunkers there. I wonder if they're like armament bunkers, maybe? Does a skyscraper have like a window cleaning thing on it? I didn't just imagine it, did I?
Altitude. Altitude. Pull up, pull up.
I thought I shot you up.
Pull up, pull up.
It does have a window cleaning thing on it. That's cool. Fly through the hotel. I might head over that way actually. I really do like flying through. I think it's quite funky. I don't think I have virtual sounds on. Let me just actually check that while I'm here. I got spatial sounds off. Yeah, I'm not sure what could be causing that popping sound for you guys. Just making sure everything's a-okay with the stream. I don't have any special sound settings on. That's an odd one. Might have to have a further look at that. Yeah, I'm not hearing anything myself, so it must be something between my either encoder or streaming thing. That is bizarre. Oh, hi, Chris. Yeah, I really do hope that you get back in here soon. I don't know if you've looked at the forum, buddy, but we're gonna have a kind of group chat tomorrow about flying and stuff. If you could make it for that, that would be absolutely awesome. Grizzly said, I think some of the tenants in those buildings would be quite pissed off right now. No more than the guys who have just had their windows smashed by me flying over them on Mach 1 anyway.
Pull up, pull up! Pull up, pull up!
Anybody see what those road signs say? I have to keep forcing myself not to keep kicking in the burn here, because I need to save a little bit of fuel. It's an interesting looking bridge. I wonder if I'd get underneath that. Might get under the first one, I don't think I can get under the second one.
Altitude. Altitude.
Go on, take some bets. Who thinks I can get under that first bridge? You know something? I absolutely did not see that.
Flight controls. Flight controls.
That crane.
Pull up, pull up!
No.
Pull up, pull up!
Sorry, you're on your own today.
Pull up, pull up!
Yeah, I think she's given up now. Oops. Ah! I was hammering back on the stick there, but for some reason the nose just sucked itself into the ground. No idea what happened there. Ground effect, maybe? Less bitching Betty just went, no. Fuck you. No, honestly, don't know what happened there. I was yanking back on the stick so I could feel her nose going forward, and then she just kind of went, no, you're in the ground. Alrighty, let's...
1-1.
Nope.
Request taxi to runway.
We went bang. That sucked. I knew that was going to happen.
Request rearming.
My favourite
Copy.
skin.
Flight controls. Flight controls.
Being surrounded by desert gives them unlimited supply of glass. Yep. I did crash. Yeah, I flew into the ground because I don't know quite what happened there. I was started pulling back on the stick and it just kind of went, no, you don't really want to do that, do you? Runways.
Rearming complete.
That side. Yep. Let it go. It's why I put in a hot start so I could crash into the ground and take off straight away again. Because prior preparation prevents people sitting around forever watching bad streams. Not the crew chiefs. I'd say the crew chief's actually probably relieved. He'd look at the plane and think, well, at least I don't have to fix it now. Just need to pick it up. Brain user said, not your fault the ground crashed into you. Yeah, it has a nasty habit coming up on you, doesn't it? funny shadows. Check seat. Yep, there we go. Thanks, Betty. Who likes doing rolls after takeoff, just like in Top Gun? Alrighty, let's try that again, shall we? Without the whole kind of crashing and dying part, because that was bad. Well, I said that we would take a closer look at the map, and I wasn't lying. Yeah, I think everything in this map is a solid object, to be fair. I don't think I've found one thing in this that I've actually managed to fly through yet. And with the map coming out tomorrow, might try and fly around it in a Gazelle or something, which is not something I can do at the moment with the early access version, which is a bit of a shame. Maybe I'll even drag Russ along if you're up for it tomorrow. Hey, Muzzy. I wonder how long she'll fly inverted for before the engines quit. It's probably a really, really bad altitude to find out, isn't it? Might want to get some speed up first so that we can actually do an engine recovery. Did we break the wings yet? Well, we broke the whole plane. If that counts for something. It's 15,000. Let's get some speed up. Because what better way is there to see the world than to see it inverted? Feels like I could fly like this all day long. Yeah, F-18's looking absolutely fantastic, man. It's a hell of a fun aircraft to fly. Rough time code for me crashing into the ground will be about, what, 2 minutes ago? This thing really doesn't want to flame out, does it? Unless that's just something that they're not quite modeled.
Engine right. Engine right. Engine left. Engine left.
I think it's telling us that we're about to lose our engines. Let's keep this up, just to see kind of what happens here. We're still pulling in good RPM, we've still got good thrust going on, mass caution's gone off there. Got left oil pressure, right oil pressure. Unless they just overheat and blow up. That would be fun. So, is there actually an engine management screen on this? Ah, yeah, here we go. So let's have inlet temperatures. EGTs, kind of okay. Oil pressure is now 0. I guess that's probably bad. Engine's still running though. RPM still looking consistent. Kind of amazed that the inverted flight times lasted this long. Wait for the cough. I don't think that cough's going to come, to be fair. We've got oil pressure warnings, but unless this thing's got some kind of like pressurized fuel tanking system. I could have swore that that the engines would have run out of fuel by now, at least. Do seem to be going okay with no oil pressure though. Let's apply some pressure. Oil pressure's gone back up now. Just something for the crew chief to complain about when we get back. By the way, you've knackered the engines because they both went to 0 oil pressure. Haha! And we finally got to my favourite part of the map. So normal oil pressure looks like it's around 149, 150.
Altitude. Altitude.
Alright then. I love this dockyard. So many kind of cranes and power plants and things. It's proper cool.
Pull up! Pull up!
No. Oh, hello birds. I guess they haven't modelled bird strikes.
Pull up! Pull up!
That's interesting. So Microvac there has put the K50 gearbox is rated for 20 minutes without oil. I wouldn't like to be the crew chief who has to clean up that one. There's a really, really cool hotel over here that I'd like to visit. Say hello!
Altitude. Altitude.
Let's make a Mac pass through the hotel, see how many windows we can shatter. Mach 1.5 or 105. Great, now the Harbour Master's mad at you. Yeah, he can suck a big one. Besides, look at it. It's like a kind of like a big kind of thing saying, fly through it. Fly along here and then fly through there. You just kind of can't help yourself. There's like all of these lovely buildings kind of all lined up for you to fly down and then fly through the hotel. It's like valley running. You're just like, yep. Yeah, that's cool, I like it. Although there is a little kind of pole sticking up there, so if you get just a little bit too low or a little bit too high, it's all game over. Smudger's the sole reason people deploy SAMs. That's probably right. It's the Death Star run. Absolutely. It's so cool. It's like they're flying through the centre of Abu Dhabi. There's like a rail and a motorway that runs through there. And it is like a proper kind of like Death Star trench run running through all of the buildings there. You can kind of just see it now. It's like a highway system that runs right through the middle of it. It's so much fun following this thing through. What a better way to see Abu Dhabi than like 20 feet off the ground. There's a lamppost there. And I nearly hit one. Wow, she was very slow in a roll there. Wow, I thought she might snap a bit harder than that, but now that thing's just begging to be flown through. What I might actually do is dump this external tank because it's empty. Watch your heads! Someone down there is about to get a kind of like several £100 present. I wonder what this square kind of represents, because it's proper funky looking. Or is it just something to fly through? Yeah, you can see the highway running all the way through the buildings. Knife edge through the sail. anything through the sail? Let's go have a look at it. Sorry, just having a look at the chat here. What did you map for ATC? I'll try and think now, actually. I think I've actually got it to the autopilot engage disengage button on my Warthog HOTAS. Well, good news, Flyer. We are getting the F-16 in the future. They want to get the F-18 fully developed and finished. Matt did mention that on his chat with Lauby, but they have said that that there may be an F-16 in the future. I see. I wonder if that could be actually flown through. Something tells me that there's probably going to be something in there that's going to clip with the aircraft and kill me, but we'll give it a go. Best go on my rudder pedals here. I think I might actually get through there fully, kind of. Yeah. It was wide enough.
Altitude. Altitude.
Alright then. Yeah, it'd be nice to try and get the helicopter landed on that pad. Looks like an interesting place to land. Yeah, that's right, yeah, I mentioned FC4, although I haven't actually said what aircraft we're going to be getting in Flaming Cliffs for. So, you know, kind of boats out on that one. Hopefully some more Russian stuff. Although, you know, maybe MiG-25, MiG-31, anybody, you know. I think that would be something interesting. Be interesting to see what the other... I mean, I guess they have to put in a mix of red and blue. Got one of those cool oil tanker things there, an extra cargo tanker. You can see the size of them. Absolutely massive.
Altitude. Altitude.
Someone said buzz the tower. Shall we buzz it at over 500 knots? Hello! Maybe that guy will want some butts. Yeah.
Roll right, roll right.
So many cool things to fly through. Yeah. Wow. Hello. That building actually kind of, you know, that building bit back. Alrighty, let's go kill some things. Yeah, that one didn't work out so well. Chew slot. Can we take it? No. Let's go cold. And then we'll go chew slot hot. Yay. Alrighty, let's get this thing.
Field 1-1. Request taxi to runway.
Let's get this thing armed up for some murdering. Because murdering's is fun. Unfortunately, the AIM-7 still don't work. I tried it slightly earlier on. They track better now. They kind of start flying towards the target, but then they just kind of then go like deadpool and just kind of keep flying straight ahead, which does suck. Low vis because we don't want to be seen. Also, chaff and flare dispensers. I've not figured out how to get flares working yet. I'm not sure if they're not fully implemented yet either. Yeah. Unfortunately, I can't change it to a Canadian skin because I need to go back into the mission editor and change the aircraft to being Canadian. Yeah, it's American at the moment. Maybe next time I'll set up the Canadian skins. I know it's got 409 Squadron on there, which is quite cool. Anybody that's watched Jetstream, that documentary about the Canadian F-18s, it's actually on YouTube, that's where I watched it. It's a proper fantastic kind of series. I think it's 8 parts, following some pilots going through air combat training in the F-18. Really cool. In fact, because I'm hot, will that have loaded up the stores? It has! Huzzah! That's something they fixed. Thank you, Mags. And the guys at Eagle. Because before, if you loaded up anything while you were hot, it didn't actually take it on board. So that's cool. I like that. Alrighty then. In fact, we'll put the... Hold on this side. We'll set this up to... attacking the radars. That's set to 1. Flaps to medium. Arm the seat this time. As soon as I can click on it. So what I've done, I've set up a pretty cool kind of like trigger zone, so when I fly into it, L-39 will spawn in, a nice easy aircraft to kill, so we'll try and kill that with guns. When he's dead, a MiG-21 will spawn in, which should be a bit more an interesting fight. Then my Nemesis, which is the F5, spawns in. Then after that there's 2 L-39s, 2 MiG-21s, then 2 F5s, so I'll probably be either out of missiles or dead long before that. I'll probably get shot down by the L-39 to be fair, because I'm not rubbish at bloody air combat. We'll go find out. Yeah, Flyer, one thing they did mention in the last video there is that they are actually working on a dynamic mission system or dynamic campaign system for DCS as well. At the moment the F-18 is kind of still early doors. I think Matt mentioned it's kind of like a 80s Hornet at the moment. It's kind of got very limited air to ground and limited air to air. It's got AIM-9s, AIM-7s which don't track properly at the moment. Bomb wise it has Mark 82s, Mark 82 Snake Eyes and various kind of amounts of rockets. So all kind of dumb ordnance, but very shortly, you know, it will have kind of more capabilities, and they're going to try and bring it up to a 90s Hornet, which has smart weaponry, you know, things like HARM, laser guided bombs, JDAMs, targeting pods, and all the other kind of good stuff there. So when that comes along, this thing will be ready to rock, roll, and murder people. Forgot about you. Okay, we'll save some burner because we're going to need that when we get there, and then we'll fly off to waypoint 4, which is this way. So 60k, not far to fly. This thing murders 60k in no time at all. And then while we're doing that, I'll have a look at chat. Strobes, are they only bright or dim? I think it's bright, dim and off on the strobe, so that's the strobe control there, so you can turn it off, bright, dim. You've got your position kind of lights and formation lights there, which you can control the brightness of. Yeah, I'm looking forward to having the helmet-mounted queuing system operational as well. That'll be quite a cool thing, so you can look over your shoulder and lock something up and then go and kill it. Okay, let's set this thing up to 40, 4-bar scan. Put a fuel tank on this thing. No, I didn't. Oh, good. So we're sucking the internal tank. That's going to suck hard. By the time we get there, we'll probably already be bingo and have to fly home. Yay! But what's a flame out between friends? Hum hum hum. Just turn on this. Listen to a bit. Dispensers on. Jammer. Dump 2 flares, but whenever I hit the flare thing it doesn't, so yeah. And that's the dispense button there for shooting them off, but still doesn't dump flares. If we put this into dispenser bypass and hit it, still doesn't come up. So yeah, I think flares and that aren't quite fully implemented yet, although I might be doing something wrong. Just say stand way. I know, if you guys can see I'm doing something wrong with the shaft and flare dispensers to get it working, then please by all means let me know, because I've still not been able to figure that one out yet. Yeah, I've tried setting that into dispense override, but still can't seem to get them off. Still no joy with that. So this island is my play area, so we'll get there and then we'll have things to start shooting down and killing. So I might go into master on air-to-air mode and switch my lights off, because, you know, fencing in is always good. Although, saying that though, there is actually a switch I've got on my HOTAS, test. You can do that. So if we look at this, this is lights on, lights off, lights on, lights off. Yeah, so you can control your lights with a master mode switch anyway. Try the first one with gun. Wow, 21 bar scat. One thing as of the last patch, I'm not sure if it's bugged or not, is that you don't get the scan line anymore. It does scan, but where's that AC? There we go. Yeah, so the radar is scanning. It's doing its 4-bar scan, as you can see there, but yeah, one thing I actually forgot to do is put in a alert thing saying that enemies spawned in. Master caution, what are you for? Right, as we cross over this island, an enemy will spawn in kind of somewhere ahead of us, or to the right of us, or to the left of us. It's quite random. Well, I should have put a message in saying enemy spawned in, but I forgot that. Hurrah! Just check the map here. He has spawned in. Cool. Somewhere in front of us. He might actually be lower, but if we're trying to acquire him. Put radar into high finding mode and see if we can't find this bad guy. He'll be around here somewhere. If you fly straight in the level long enough, you'll always find him behind you. That's my combat technique. Let them get in behind you, and then run away like a big girl. I'm trying to do this without burning so I can last a little bit longer than normal. So, completely lost this guy visually. I know he's in here somewhere. Or actually head to head. I guess the first problem is always just trying to bloody find him.
Altitude.
God, my air combat sucks. Cheat again, see if I can get a fix on him. Alright, okay, interesting, so I'm chasing him. keep looking around to see boats and thinking, is that a plane? No, it's a boat. And this is supposed to be the easy one. But I can't frickin' find him. Let's cheat even more. So he's 75,000. Doesn't seem to be engaging. Interesting. So he is alive.
Altitude. Altitude.
Ah, got it, visual. Probably going to have a lot more smashing gears on this one, so we'll he's flying straight. Why is he not turning? Honestly, I did this earlier and he was turning like a good one. Oh, smudgy pillock. No, I flew into him. Smudge. Just smudge. Just why? Why? Right, let's make a better go of this one, shall we? Honestly, I'm terrible at air combat. Anybody that hasn't found that out yet, soon, well, they know that now.
Request rearming. Copy.
Yeah.
Flight controls. Flight controls.
Just checking the old chat there while the aircraft rearms itself. Don't know why the L-39 wasn't engaging there. It was the L-39ZA, so it's got the guns on there. I flew around earlier and he was quite eager to engage with me, but that guy just seemed to want to go back into circling, so... Yeah, but yeah, once a mud mover, always a mud mover. I can drop bombs alright, but air combat is just kind of a bit beyond my ability. Which I do need to practice, and that's why I set this up, so I can actually kind of go ahead and do that. Let's get out of here and get over there quickly. Put a fuel tank on now as well, so we'll have a bit more kind of playtime when we get there. Got lots of A9s as well. Yeah, $50 million. It's a good way to spend it. Need to pay attention to where I'm driving. Honestly, maybe this time I won't embarrass myself so much. Check seat. Swing there. Well, I've definitely got takeoff figured out anyway. Alrighty then. So who thinks I'm going to die while trying to shoot down a MiG-21? Yeah, because that L-39's dead now. Next time I fly over there, a MiG-21 should spawn in. Hopefully we'll do a better job. Yeah, this thing is incredibly thirsty. It's if you're using the burner a lot, it just goes in seconds. If you're staying gentle on the afterburner, if you're not using the afterburner, I think you could probably, you know, loiter for a fair amount of time, maybe an hour or two. But as soon as you start using that burner, man, it just goes. It's, you know. See what we're using at the moment. So it actually tells us, doesn't it? So that's fuel flow times 100. So we're using what, 650. I guess would it be in American? Would that be gallons or liters? I'm not sure how they'd show that, to be fair. Let's have a look. So if we actually look on the MFD here, you can actually bring up your fuel flow, can't you? So fuel. Being blind. Right, okay, so we can see how each engine's performing now. So that's all of our fuel tanks, total, internal. So I'm sure someone out there that's good at math could figure out how much fuel we're going to use in that amount of time anyway. Does the UFC have any more like this F-16 where it shows what height and speed? Ah yeah, fuel quantity in pounds on the celebrator. I don't know where the scan line's gone. Yesterday it did have a scanning line, that's now gone. So fun, not sure what happened with that. Yeah, one thing that really is cool with the Hornet is just how quickly it eats up distance. And if we're flying things like the Harrier and, you know, kind of other ground attack aircraft, it just takes 10 years to get anywhere. Just like, come on, but this is just point and go. Lithia's just put my issue with the F-14 would be getting a regular in the back seat. My issue is going to get someone to actually drive for me. Exactly, I really can't wait to be in the back seat of the F-14. Oh, hold on. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the F-14. And someone else can do the driving while I sit dummy in the back and play with all the switches. Should be seeing an island coming up in there soon. Ah, there it is, alright. We get to do some more killing, or ramming things, while trying to kill them with the gun, because, you know, skills. I never claimed to be a good air-to-air pilot, I really don't, but I enjoy it anyway. Yeah, I think with the F-16, I think the reason that the F-18's taken so long is because they've had to develop the technology in order to be able to use it. I hope that makes some sort of sense, but now that they've actually kind of developed that technology and they've got it in the sim, maybe kind of future modules like the F-16 will come faster because they can use what they've learned and the technology they've got in the F-18 to make the F-16 work. I mean, I think that we're probably going to see still another year or two of development on the F-18 to get it to where it's going to be at its peak. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is in beta for at least another year. I think it's probably fair to say that. You know, but I think once that's done, we'll probably see other modules coming on much faster because they have that data, they know what they're doing, and they can integrate things like the air-to-air and air-to-ground radar into the module that they've already worked on from the F-18. So I think this is really kind of like the biggest kind of like test bed and the biggest hurdle on the way to bigger and better things. At least that's my kind of view on it. Alrighty, we're about to go air-to-air with the MiG-21, I think, so we'll get the signal set up to be deadly. Not sure which direction he's going to be coming from, but at least with the MiG-21 he leaves a big sludge trail behind him. And we've got a 21 on the nose, and there he is. Spotted. So we've got the AIM-9 on cage and pointing at him, but I'm going to go head-to-head and then go guns. Hopefully he doesn't gun me head-to-head, that would bloody suck. Now I'm visual with him, I think I can probably get him. As he bloody loses visual with him going over the top. Come on, where'd he go, where'd he go, where'd he go, where'd he go? Ah, just lost him in the shine on the ground.
Altitude. Altitude.
It's alright, Betty, thank you. Okay, 21 radar right behind me.
Flight controls. Flight controls.
We got slow.
Altitude. Altitude.
I'd love to be able to selective jettison off that tank, but I think if I hit selective jettison I'm going to hit most of my AIM-9s as well. Come on, God, that MiG-21 can maneuver. Sorry, MiG-21, time for you to die. I don't have the gas for this. Oh, as he bloody pops flares. Yeah.
Altitude. Altitude.
Speed, 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 speed. Oh, must have just missed him there.
Altitude. Altitude.
So he wants to play in the vertical.
Altitude.
Come on, come on, come on, come on.
Altitude.
Got him. Eat, let and die. I enjoyed that fight, that was good. MiG-21s are nice to fight against.
Altitude. Altitude.
Ah, he's punched out. There we go. Good man. Right, okay. Fuel is looking dodgy, but we'll try and take on the F5, which I think is the next bad guy. Try and get the speed up here as well without cooking the burners too hard. Okay, F5 coming in behind us. Cool beans. Where is he? 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 Right, that's the parachute from the MiG-21. There he is. Got him slightly high. I hate F5s, I really do, they're so bloody manoeuvrable. He's getting a missile straight up this chuff as soon as I can get anywhere near him. Eat that. No, too hard an angle. That was my bad. I was never going to get there, not on that close in angle. Just pot-shotting at him. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Easy on the stick, easy, 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 easy. He's coming back down on us. Let's go high. Just trying to come off on the burners here, just...
Altitude. 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 Altitude.
He's got himself low. I think I might have him here. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on. Oh, Jesus. How the hell is he maneuvering like that? Oh, I ripped him a new one. Kaboom! Woo! Burn, baby, burn. And that only used 1,000 pounds of fuel as well. So I think next is 2 L39s, although the L39s didn't really kind of fight last time, which was unfortunate. Whoa, that was fun. Okay, let's go in there and try and get the next one. We've got 93 rounds of gun left, so it looks like it's going to have to be a missile kill for the next ones. Let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 A9s left, and 93 gun. And there should be 2 L39s, so we'll see how these guys go. Yeah, as soon as that F5 got low and on the deck there, he just ran out of energy. And as he kind of boosted back up, I was able to get position on him again. Oh, cool. Straight on the nose. Oops, no, wrong bloody weapon, because of your frickin' tit. Come on, find it, find it, find it. Got one right in the nose here, but the A9 doesn't want us. Right, eat this head. Go on, pop him, pop him, pop him. Splashboard, whatever that means. And then the radar's track the other one, so we'll
altitude.
Follow him down this
Altitude.
one. Splash. Right, where's his mate? Can't believe I squeezed off the gun instead of the A9 on that pass, but never mind. Oh, good, there he is. Oh, he's actually fighting today as well. Yay, L39's on me 6. Tell you what, L39, follow this. Because you're going to run out of energy before I do.
Altitude. Altitude.
I've got the Alpha. He's coming back down this. Oh, I managed. Absolutely surprised he managed to keep his nose up that long. I literally can't turn on this guy. I'm going to have to go up again. God, I sure can bloody maneuver those L39s in the turn. I guess it's because they're much lighter. Let's come down and go back up again.
Altitude. Altitude.
He doesn't have the energy to do that, which gives us position on him. Let's see what we can do with 66 gun left.
Altitude. Altitude.
Not a lot because we've got way more smash. Let's see if we can bleed that off in the... Oh, come on, run it, run it, run it, run it, run it, run it, run it. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh my god. I think we... Oh, come on. Recover. Recover. Oh, hello. When the hell he kind of stalled into each other. That was funny. I love that. That was brilliant. Fuel is getting really low. Where's this other guy going? Is he still airborne? Is he still airborne, or did he not recover from that stall? Ah, there's 2 parachutes there. Interesting. Oh no, he is still airborne, and he's actually getting on my 6. Cool. Good man. There he is, right in his chuff. Oh, Simon, damn it. Where's he going? Where's he going? Where's he going? Where's he going? There he is.
Altitude. Altitude.
Who knew fighting L39s in a bloody F-18 would be this difficult? Gotta love a bit of asymmetrical warfare. fuel is right low. Ah.
Altitude. Altitude.
Sorry, bud. Game over for you. I'm out of gas. Burn, baby, burn! That was a good fight, man. I think it really manoeuvred. Crikey. Alrighty, home, James. Sweet. Question is, will we have enough gas to get home? I'm saying probably not. Let's gain some altitude so that we use less fuel. And back to the old chat while we make our climb out here. Yeah, Doc 80? Sorry for the pronunciation there. I know that we've got the red flag map. It would be really cool to have maple flag in Canada. I think that'd be really, really cool. You know, it's like a different kind of different sort of area, different sort of terrain, if that makes sense. Yeah, maple flag. Eurofighter in FC4? Probably not. I'd be amazed if they put a Eurofighter in there. It would be nice, don't get me wrong, but maybe. I think FC4 is probably going to be modern-ish aircraft, isn't it? Because I mean, it can kind of get away with modern-ish aircraft. You know, kind of being low fidelity, non-clickable cockpits that just kind of generally use a generic radar system, don't they? Rather than, you know, kind of like absolute stats. It's the L39ZA, the one with the gun on it. If it was the L39C, I'd just literally think it would run away. It wouldn't try to engage at all. Yeah, Amoeba said you could have opened the canopy and high-fived him as we're going into that stall pass. Probably could have patted him on the arse as well as he went past, like, high five! Time to land and drink some fuel. Absolutely. I'm not sure what is causing that popping sound. I'll definitely have to have a look into that kind of moving forwards. Yeah, I really do need to look into that. I'm sorry about that for the guys that are getting popping sounds. I'm not sure what could be causing that. Okay, sip, 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 sip. I just recently done a Windows 10 update, which has really screwed up some of my sound settings. So I really don't know kind of what could be causing it. And I don't want to faff on with it too much while I'm streaming, just in case it all kind of goes bang. Let's have a look at this. Is it in the speech, the popping, or is it in the actual in-game sounds? Definitely don't have any advanced enhancements active. Spatial sound is off, so I'm not sure what could be causing that right now. Yeah, Lithian said the A6 is amongst the possibilities. Well, Razbam have done an A6 for Flight Sim World? Was it not Flight Sim World? Flight Sim 10? Something like that, prepared 3D. And an A6B would absolutely give me wood. That would be my absolute #1 aircraft. Yeah, Rennie's asking me to go external and having a look around the aircraft, so we'll do that for you now. Yeah, alrighty, we're home, and because I use the afterburner there, we're pretty much out of gas, so let's go land somewhere. Where's our runway? Should be just over here somewhere. Runway? Anyone seen the runway around here? Yes. On the nose, cool. Might have to set up for a straight in here because, you know, fun and games. I wonder if this place actually got a tack on. Let's have a look. Al Dafra. Tack on 96X. So, tack on. What was a course heading for runway 130? Yeah, 130. So heading to course. Cool. Okay, so we've got the tack on location on the HSI.
Altitude.
And of course heading for landing as well, so we can line ourselves up on that. for a nice long landing. I don't think ILS is currently working. Yeah. I need to wait for an update on Matt on that one if ILS is working. I'm not sure if it's been implemented yet. Okay, we'll set in for a nice long approach on the old runway here.
Altitude. Altitude.
Very long approach. Yeah, Dog, sorry, just reading the chat here. This map is still currently on discount. The map gets released tomorrow, so I imagine that the pre-release discount will end very soon. So it'd probably be a very good idea to go buy it now. A little bit high, you come down a bit. Yeah, in fact that goes to everybody. Honestly, while this thing's you know, kind of cheaper, you know, it'd be a very good idea to go out and buy it now. It is an absolutely fantastic map. There are so many features to it that I think you'd be absolutely nuts not to. But, you know, that's only my point of view on it. He says I'm buying it now. Fuck it. Yeah, good man. Go get it. You'd be nuts not to. As I come in for one of the longest landings known to man. Really, I should have just done an overfly, but hey ho. Well low on gas, we don't have the time to loiter. And that crosswind's really starting to kind of bite the plane as well. Don't worry about that, we're all big kids around here. Yeah, we've already done some low-level flying, so low I even managed to pound it into the ground. But I've got a little bit longer, so we can go out and do a little bit more low-level flying. Might even go take off from a carrier, because, you know, who doesn't like taking off from carriers? Still really high, come on. Wind's really kicking us about here. And there's a fair amount of low-level turbulence here as well. Alright, thanks, mate. Bit of a hard one. Crew chief might be a little bit pissed with that one, but hell, we're down. We're in one piece. I don't think we've popped any tyres. That tyres are all still one piece. We've got away with it. If you pop a tyre, that's bad. If you don't pop a tyre, you're doing okay. Alrighty, let's go stick one off the back of a boat, and then another half hour, and then we'll call it a night. Yes. Taking off from carriers is awesome. Let's stick some gas bags on. Yeah. turn this into an air-to-air truck. Just have a look at... we'll stick with the X now. Oh, so I like that one.
Request rearming.
Copy.
Flight controls. Flight controls.
Yeah, the F-18 is designed to be flown into the ground. Red Halter said after you land on a carrier, can you take off again? You certainly can. You just kind of fly up, well, drive up to the cat, hit you, you strap onto the cat, and then you're ready to go. And one thing I absolutely love about this is that this thing just literally flies itself off the deck. If we hit F3 here and then just power up. We'll go F2. So no input from me at all, and the thing just literally flies itself off the deck. I do like how you get the exhaust smoke off there at full military power. It does look cool. Alrighty then. Try and get this thing trimmed out a bit here. I should use a little bump for that. Crosswind in a dust bowl would be savage. Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. No, Canadians have never actually taken off from carriers as far as I'm aware. Yeah, that's right. Hit 4,000 subscribers yesterday on my channel, which is kind of a big deal for me. I know there's YouTubers out there and people who have got like hundreds of thousands of subscribers, but as a small YouTuber, I think hitting kind of like 4,000 subscribers is like a proper big deal. I'm really happy with that. Yeah, so we've got a couple of contacts on radar here, as you can see here. They're 40. When this thing's got gas bag on, it can fly for a very long time. Yeah, one thing I've not kind of figured out yet on this is IFF. Really do need to figure out what's friendly and what's enemy without hitting F10 on this. Cool, it's all bad. So we'll just show the AIM-7s in action. Like I said, they don't fully work at the moment, but they kind of track through the initial phase, but then they don't actually kind of fly into kill. I've had a couple of them where they've flown really close, but they're not actually detonated or killed anything. But we'll give them we'll shoot them off and see what we'll get. I've mostly been using the M versions. I've loaded up the F versions just to see if they work any better. We're at 20 here. We also, I don't think that we get a lock and shoot tone on these yet. I think that's the in-range ring. I think that's like maximum, that's effective, and that's kind of like minimums, I think. But we'll get a little bit closer and then we'll shoot and then see if it will get anywhere close to him. Yeah, all the carry stuff works really, really well. You know, you can land on just fine. Traps work absolutely brilliant. You can take off again. The carry stuff is all case 1 at the moment. There's no case 2 or case 3 support with kind of ILS and TORCOM, but that will be coming soon. Yeah, you're right about that being done, but it's just really got on the radar screen to see kind of what's good and what's bad. I don't think there's actually any indicator on there, or at least no indicator I've found currently which says this is a bad guy and this is a good guy. It all just kind of looks the same. Yeah, the radar tracks really well now. Like I said, at the moment it doesn't seem to have the track line. It just seems that the radar is always on. That's only happened since the last update, so I'm not kind of sure what's going on with that. Okay, so we're coming up to yeah, Itchrin just said that the effectives and minimums are on top of each other. That's right, so they're just starting to separate now as the aircraft is turning. So when that line gets to there, then we should really get a shoot queue. I mean, we're at 9 miles at the moment, which to me in a BVR is really close. I mean, I'd be expecting kind of like 20 odd kilometers, but hell, we'll flow with it. We'll see if we'll get a hit here. So that should be effective range, 7 miles. So let's pop one off. Fox, whichever one it is. Fox 1. Right, okay, so the radar actually lost a lot there. Bastard. On rear quiet. I think the missile is just flying kind of dead straight there. Yeah, the thing's flying past it there. Okay, so now I've got a bore sight and a shoot. Cool. Radar lost lock on that one. Let's get inside the close range. We're 2 miles away. We're name 7. That seems pretty close to me. Let's see what happens here. That's our aim 7 off the rail. Tracking, 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 tracking. And then it just flies straight past it. Because, you know, fun and games. Hello! Yeah, so the M7 at the moment still very much placeholder. They don't do kind of as advertised. The AIM-9s work just fine, but Wags has assured us that the AIM-7s will be working by the time you guys get your hold on this, get your hands on, which is good news. Good news, everybody. Where do you fly off to? Yeah, at the moment the radar seems to be just on. It seems to detect everything in front of you. It's not scanning as it was yesterday. Whether it's that they're testing something on it, which is why it's changed, I'm not sure. Yeah, it's all good. It wasn't a civilian Learjet. It was a drone. Interesting. Okay, so Brain User said that the popping is actually coming from YouTube. Lowering the sound on YouTube stopped the popping. So maybe it's something to do with the streaming bitrate or something like that. Strange. I'll definitely have to have a look into does carry have weapons? It certainly does. Aim's never prevented Spud from committing a war crime. It's a drone! Honestly, they're unmanned. They're just old drones flying backwards and forwards waiting to get killed. Honest Gov.
Flight controls. Flight controls.
Yeah, get rid of the bags because, you know, who needs bags? Who needs fuel? Let's get rid of the fuel. Just checking my map here. Declutter the info on radar? That's a good question, to be honest. There's lots of different modes and nodes. I really don't know too much about the radar on this, so yeah, maybe. I don't want to push too much because sometimes declutter. There you go. So there is a declutter. I don't like pressing too many things because sometimes on this, if you press the wrong thing, it crashes your game. Hey, no problem, Viper. Anybody that's got questions, you know, ask away. Feel free, and I'll try to cover. Like I said, I'm still very much learning the Hornet at the moment. I've had a couple of weeks now, but there is a hell of a lot of information in this thing. There's a hell of a lot to pick up and learn. So I'm kind of learning this most of the time, as kind of you guys are, as we're flying together. God, these yak things really are kind of burning along, aren't they? Let's kick it into burner and go shoot these two private airline drones down. I wonder what range we'll start getting here. I wonder if this thing will track from full. Let's have a look. The guy's taking evasive. God knows how they know that there's an infrared missile coming after them, but you know. Boom! A9's definitely working. I'd love to know how the AI that doesn't have any sort of like rear-facing kind of equipment can know that there's a heat-seeking missile coming after it. Am I the only one that wonders that? And there's the other one. I honestly think this... No, he's turned away. I was going to say, I honestly think he was trying to get on my 60. Got too much smash. Go up over the top and come back down on him. Not in a gay way. And that's another one, bit of dust. And a couple of drone parachutes just for good measure. Right. Let's go grab some gas and then I'm back on the old tanker. On the old tanker, on the old carrier. That's not good. Alrighty then, let's going to say let's see if we can get him on attack him, but I think that's actually him on the radar. To be qualified as an AI pilot, you must have eyes also in your neck. Yep, that makes sense. What did the plane full of off? It's a drone. It was empty, apart from the two drone pilots that were on board. Hit F4 and pan around, sure. Cool pilot with the helmet mounted display thing. F4 and full afterburner. Okie dokie. That's a baddie.
Flight controls. Flight controls.
Make a rapid turn around her. Just a quick squirt, got his engine, and now he's falling out the sky in flames. Huzzah! Because, you know, murdering innocents is good fun. Alrighty, I'm sure there was a tank around here somewhere. Trying to think what TACAN shop this guy was on. Let's go over and have a look. My bad. Forgot to turn on TACAN before I start tracking on it.
Shell, in field 1-1. Request rejoin.
In field 1-1. Shell, proceed to pre-contact at 10,000.
Interesting. Now TACAN has him behind us. Yeah. And he's over there. Does it show attack on this? Let's have a look. Maybe maybe he's not on that. Let's have a look. Unless the S3B is not giving off TACAN. That's a possibility. Guide on radar. Full fidelity war crimes. Yep. Yeah, we'll do a carrier landing after this. Paying attention to where I'm flying. Have we flown past him? We have flown past him. Okie dokie. Helps if you pay attention, it really does. Got him visual, let's catch up with him. No way they were drone buses. They were absolutely drone buses. They had drone pilots in them and everything. Just trying to gauge the speed on this tanker so we don't overshoot too quick. Is that, oh, I think that's our closing velocity there, isn't it? So that's 100 VC. How do you know if they're VC? They run away. And what if they stand still? Then they're well-trained VC. Sorry, Mr. Tanker Dude. little probe out. Let's go and stick this thing in that thing. Got a much slower closing rate this time, which is good. Now he starts his turn. Thanks, thank you.
Ready, pre-contact.
Return pre-contact.
Ready, pre-contact.
Cleared contact.
Bloody hell. Need to stabilise this thing in the turn. Come on, that's it. And forwards.
Contact.
There we go.
You're taking fuel.
Come on. It's not like a pig's dinner, is it? Get to 10,000 and we'll fuck off. It's 10. Cool. Thank you, Mr. Tanker.
Abort rejoin.
Alrighty, let's go smash her down onto the carrier deck, shall we? Excellent. Excellent. Alright, actually, which way is the, which course is he on? Let's have a look. Show us. Heading through 3 now. Alrighty. The airplane type that I was revealing was the Viking, S3 Viking. Just gonna go slow here, need to speed up. Sorry guys, just catching up with the chat here. I did one line to make everybody jealous. This is currently in like a standalone version, so it wouldn't kind of work online because nobody else has the module, unfortunately. Yeah, it's very difficult to fly this thing with the trim, to be fair, because of the way that the FCS works. The FCS is constantly trying to kind of like zero the aircraft. So you can trim that has very little effect on what it's actually kind of doing. Yeah, Red Halter said, when you land, can you take off again? Yeah, sure, I'll do that, and then I'll land again and then call it night because it's starting to get really late here. We've got the tanker on the nose there, we've got set on the tech can here with the course heading line so we can see kind of where we're coming in on this. Let's buzz the tower.
Altitude. Altitude.
Alrighty then, let's see if we can't get this thing down without doing an absolutely terrible frickin' job of it. So we'll make another circle round and we'll kind of get down to 800 and start our approach. So at the moment we're busting the deck, going below 2000, even though we came in below 2000 really. But at this stage we're just kind of like setting up for our landing approach, so we'll get down to 800. I'll turn on the radar altimeter right now. Hug out. Try and trim this thing to actually kind of fly straight, because at the moment it keeps wanting to climb those up. Start turning out 30 degrees. Got our flaps and gear down. Just try and balance this thing. It's bloody awkward. Come on. Making a right pig's ear of this right now. Okay, so we've just passed a round down, so we now need to start making our turn in. But I'm kind of climbing, not descending, which I shouldn't be doing. Slightly offline here. Anyway, correct that. Really low. I think a brave thing to do now would go missed approach, because there is some kind of crazy crosswind blowing me off there. We'll go around again. Didn't get lined up properly there, and it's getting blown all over the place. Wasn't happy with that approach at all. I can do slightly longer approaches from slightly higher, okay, but I'm just trying to do these tight and 10-second trap things, but it's bloody hard trying to pull it off. Slightly longer approach, just ever so slightly longer this time. A little bit more height too. Try and get back, better aligned on the back of the boat. That's better. That's where I want to be. Fast. God, something's blowing me crazy over to the left. That was bad. That's all bad. That was very, very bad. Don't do that, people. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with the wind right now, but even kind of on alignment coming in there is just whacking me well over to the left, and I was kind of doing everything I can to cut back across, but it's just really, really hard to get that lined up and settled in there. Try a slightly higher approach. Yeah, you can uncage the, just looking at that, you can uncage the head marker or cage it, but you can do it that way. Just using the same uncage button as you do for the missiles. as you can see there, is just there's wind coming in from the right. That's proper blowing across the deck. It's making it very difficult to make these approaches in, but usually the carrier drive into wind, but I guess I just need to check it in the mission editor to see what's going on with that, but yeah, hopefully this time we'll get it down in one piece. Trapped. Crosswind carrier landings because fun. And we got the number 2 wire there anyway. Alrighty then. Let's line back up and do another takeoff. Okay, so we'll put the launch truck down, flaps into takeoff, bypasses onto carrier and it skids off, that's all fine. Blah, 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 blah. Everything else looks kind of okay. We'll just turn some interior lighting on because, you know, lighting's fun. And then we'll line up, so when we get close, we'll just edge forward a little bit more. Now if we press U, that's us hooked in and ready to fly again. This must be a hell of a crosswind going on if the ship is kind of heading like this into the wind. I mean, if it's doing, it should be doing about 20. Okey-dokey, let's get off the deck, shall we? Thanks, Viper. That's nice of you to say. I thought it was a bit dodgy, but you know, I've done better. But trying to do it in a crosswind, which you never really should get on a carrier. You know, the carrier always drives into wind when it's recovering aircraft. So. Yeah, but I just need to check how the wind's blowing in the mission editor. So you can actually see it on the smoke. I think the smoke's actually blowing straight across the deck at the moment after catapults. Okay, master cautions. What's it saying? Check trims. Meh. Let's get out of here, and then we'll do one more landing and then call it a night. So it's getting late. Alrighty, let's start up on another pan and see if we can do it better. Height mode engaged. Yep. Well, I mean, you know, everybody that's pre-ordered and everybody that's bought the Hornet can get their hands on it from the 30th, which is cool. Let's start setting up then, we'll get a hot down. Shouldn't be climbing. Start slowing down, get below 250. Flaps down, gears down. Uncage the artificial horizon again, just because. Just gonna get away from the car here, so. Let's roll in and see if we can't get this thing down on deck again. Really do love the Normandy AI ship things, they're really cool. Carry landings are ridiculously hard. Come quite low here. Too high. I thought it was too low, so I kept the power on just a bit too long there and ended up missing the wires. That's okay. As soon as you hit the deck, you just go maximum throttle, and then you know, you will take off again. As long as you don't do minimum throttle as you hit in the deck, then you know, your bolter will not become a crash. Coming with a bit more height this time. I find it easier coming in slightly high with a slightly faster rate of descent than coming in really shallow. Just try and make this a good one. And trapped. Whew. Let's see what we got on that one. It helps if we release the hook, doesn't it? And number 2 wire again. Alrighty. Alrighty then. Well, I certainly do hope that you guys have enjoyed that. Just massive thanks to everybody that ever watches my videos and subscribes to my stuff. You know, getting 4,000 subscribers has been, you know, it's kind of really made my day. The other day when that flicked over 4,000, I was like, hey! Felt like a little schoolgirl. Yeah, I hope that you've enjoyed the stream. I've tried to kind of cover everything that you guys have been asking in the chat, although sometimes it's difficult when you're flying about and everybody's talking lots in the chat. Just looking at the last parts of the chat now. Hardland, yes, U33. I'd say so. There's a lot more to think about. Yeah, Ron, actually, kind of yesterday, I didn't do it. I thought about doing it today, but I never got around to it. You can fly asymmetrically. It actually flies pretty well. The FCS takes care of the aircraft quite well, even when it's got asymmetric thrust. You know, kind of shutting one engine off, it still flies really quite well. You get a little bit of yaw, but you can trim that out with the rudder trims. It's pretty easy. Yeah, night carrier landings. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'd just like to say thanks for everybody for joining. You know, like I said, I hope that you've enjoyed this. Hope that you're taking something from it. Like I said, the Persian Gulf map is coming out tomorrow, so if you want to get it cheaper, pre-order it today. You'd honestly be a fool not to. It's a fantastic map. It's got a hell of a lot of detail in it. I might see what's going on tomorrow. It might be Thursday, but I'll grab a helicopter and fly around and take a close look at some parts of the map and things like that as well. And yeah, I'd just like to say thanks very much, you know, for watching. Thanks very much for subscribing and liking and supporting my channel. It's been emotional for years. So yeah, I'll say thanks very much, guys, and yeah, I'll say good night.